Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Live with Normal. I'm J.M. Padini, the Development Director for the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. It's Friday, August 25th, 2023. You know what that means? It's time for us to answer all of your burning questions live. So take a minute, friends. Think about what you want to ask us. Let us know where you're watching from. Drop a comment in the chat right now. Tell us who you are, where you're watching from. Hey, Randy. Good to see you here. Where are you watching from? Hey, also, if you would go ahead and hit that like, follow, or subscribe button wherever you're watching, then you'll never miss when NORML goes live. We try to do it every week. Hey, Kevin in Gloucester. Hey, John in Rich Creek. LinkedIn user, all I can see is that you're in Dallas, Texas. I can't see your name, but it's good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Hey, David in Oregon. Hey, Kenneth and Colleen. Hello, Andrea and Raleigh. All right, I love it. I love it. Randy, you're about to head over to Rise Bristol. That's great. Hey, Randy, when you go to Rise Bristol, don't forget to round up. You can see what I did there. Hey, Kevin and Austin. Stephanie, I won't tell anyone that you're watching at work, also in Richmond. I'm at work in Richmond. Hey, Tom. Good to see you back, friend. New Orleans. All right, all right. Oh, Bobby, you're in Louisville, but you live in British Columbia. Cool. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Joshua. Hey, other Kevin in Michigan. Hey, Lovely and Ella. Hi, Michael in Houston. Hey, Kelly, welcome back. Hey, someone right out the gate watching on LinkedIn asked or mentioned MasterCard suspended all payment processing for cannabis. What are retailers planning on doing? I don't know. What are they planning on doing? We talked about that MasterCard suspending debit card purchases related to cannabis. We talked about it last week, and we'll see what they're going to do. I guess they're going to take Visa. Is what they're going to do. Jenny, hello, friend. So good to see you. Hey, Jason in Minneapolis. Cash is still king. That's right, Joshua. I know a lot of retailers have apps where you can prepay. You can preload essentially like gift cards and then appified gift cards and then pay with those in the store. Interesting. Thanks, Ella. Bitcoin. All right, Michael. that's something. All right, yeah, but I do agree, Michael. On to the next issue. So, hey, can't wait to answer your questions. And while I wait for you all to ask them, hey, Fred, I am going to talk about what we covered this week. So, today we have a fresh blog that went up late this afternoon. Watch me do this. I'm gonna put a link in here. It's gonna go fine. Whew. Okay. This is going to come as no surprise to any of you all, I'm sure, but it's probably going to come as a surprise to some other people. There was an analysis done. So this is not our opinion. We're just reporting on the research, but there's an analysis done, and many of the so-called hemp-derived Delta-9 THC products that are sold over the counter, turns out they contain synthetically derived THC. That's not a surprise really to anyone who's paying attention. It's a significant percentage of the products that were tested did in fact contain synthetically derived THC. Only, and in this review, only 18% researchers say, only 18% probably used natural, meaning not synthesized, hemp-derived Delta 9. So read that. Hey, Jennifer Bailey. Welcome back. Hey, Lynn in Iowa. All right. There's a question asking if synthetic THC is illegal. That depends on the context. According to the DEA, synthetically derived tetrahydrocannabinols, all of them are considered Schedule 1 under federal law. Calling it hemp-derived doesn't change that. Now, Marinol is 100% pure synthetic THC, and that's an FDA-approved medication. Dronabinol is the generic name. There's also a liquid version of it. Marinol, dronabinol, that's in a gel capsule. There's a liquid version of it as well. Those are scheduled FDA-approved medications, typically prescribed for nausea, cachexia, wasting syndrome related to HIV, AIDS, and cancer. But yeah, so it depends on your state and what your state laws are, but at the federal level, unless it is in an FDA-approved medication, is considered Schedule 1 according to the DEA. Natural as in not synthesized, not having undergone chemical conversion. That's what the authors of this report meant. Hey, Bob in Chicago. I don't know, Michael, if you can run an internal combustion engine on hemp. Someone probably knows that, but it's not this guy. Oh, funny. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Good to know, Michael. All right. We talked a lot last week about some Gallup polls that came out. We've got more for you this week as well. Now, again, not going to come as any surprise to you. But according to the latest Gallup poll, Americans perceive cannabis to be less harmful than either alcohol or cigarettes. I know. Put on your surprise face. Most U.S. adults, according to this latest poll by Gallup, believe that marijuana use possesses fewer risks to health than does either the use of alcohol or the use of cigarettes. This is a pretty big nationwide poll. It was done by Gallup. You can check it out, take a look, see what your takeaway is. In this survey, though, 95% of adults perceived smoking cigarettes to be either very harmful or somewhat harmful to health. 80% of adults said that consuming alcohol is harmful, and by contrast, only 58% of respondents describe marijuana as either very harmful or somewhat harmful. So interesting that Gallup did this poll, and the results came just a few days after a survey published in the Journal of the American Medical Association called Network Open, also reporting that a plurality of Americans perceive tobacco smoke to be more hazardous than marijuana. So here we go. Michael, I bet you're shocked. Hello, welcome back, Drunken Yoda. All right, here is well, let's skip ahead. Hey, guess what? Because I think you all like this story, and I know that you like this story because I can see that you're reading it on our website. It's a pretty good one. Colorado's marijuana tax revenue has again surpassed that of tax revenue derived from alcohol and cigarettes. Now, cannabis is taxed at a higher rate than alcohol and cigarettes than alcohol in Colorado. But this is the 52 to 2023 marijuana tax revenue totaled over $282 million. So by comparison, we can look at alcohol, which was just over $56 million, and cigarette taxes totaled $234 million. Yeah, and cannabis products have a higher excise tax rate than either alcohol or cigarettes do in Colorado, and they have a they're subject to an additional 15% special sales tax rate. Good news though, about $60 million of that marijuana related tax revenue was directed toward public school construction, and about 25 million went toward the state's public school fund. So this didn't include any of the locally imposed taxes. So agreed, Kevin. We have opined on this extensively at NORML about the need for legislation at the federal level, like Safe Banking Act, that could reform 280E tax code. It's not helping out. It's really not helping consumers at the end of the day, because when businesses aren't able to take standard tax deductions, who do you think is paying that price ultimately? Higher costs for businesses mean higher costs for consumers. Steve, I like this. Steve says, if the money talks, what's the holdup in federal legislation? Well, listen, friends, elections have consequences. Now, is someone big, like big, going to come in one day and hopefully bankroll the effort to end federal prohibition? Boy, that'd be nice, but it's not going to be, a small grassroots organization that can write checks that change the minds of people who are currently capitalizing on the existing structures that financially benefit from criminalization. Hey, Mike in Anaheim. Such a great city. I want to read your question, Chris, and that was a lot. How do we see the next couple of years playing out in Minnesota, considering the Office of Cannabis Management won't have any authority until they go through an expedited administrative process? I don't, how do you mean, in what regard? How do we see it playing out? From a consumer access standpoint or from a licensing standpoint? Yeah, I think consumers are getting more sophisticated, and when legalization takes effect, they want to see access sooner rather than later. What they don't want is what they have in what consumers are experiencing in Washington, D.C., or what consumers are experiencing in Virginia, immediately to the south, where cannabis is legal for adults, but there is no retail access. Now, a state's generally going to take about 18 months to get from the date of legalization being enacted to the date of retail sales at new operators. So most states, in fact, every state except for New York and Virginia have, well, and DC, but not a state, have elected to create a process through which existing operators can begin selling to adults, so medical can expand to adult sales as quickly as possible. This helps transition consumers to a safe, regulated space. So That's what I can tell you. But March 23rd, March 2023. I think you mean March 2024 at the earliest. That's not that far away. Oh, 2025. I see. Thank you for clarifying, Chris. Yeah, that's a little bit out there. But you have another legislative session to take another swing at it. So we'll see if that happens. Hey, Wade, you missed everything. You didn't. 1 minute, yes. Hey, Fred, yes, there are numbers on how much Maryland took in their first month of adult use, but I don't know them off the top of my head. I could say what I think, but I don't know. I don't remember. And I don't want to say it. It felt right, and it was right. About 87 million, 87.43 million. Is what Maryland consumers dropped in the first month of adult use sales. Yeah. Because according to state officials, consumers were spending on average about $2.8 million daily on cannabis in July in Maryland. Hello, Marquez in Dallas. AJ, I don't know where you are, so I can't see, but AJ has seen multiple dispensaries open up around them, but I don't know where you are. Chris, I don't think it's going to be another DC. I don't think it's going to be that problematic. Hopefully they are looking at and learning from the problems that we've seen in DC and that we're seeing in Virginia. I think Virginia's an even worse example, honestly. Virginia's illicit market has grown from $1.8 billion at the beginning of the Youngkin administration. Just before the Youngkin administration took control, it was about $1.8 billion. And they've done nothing to enact retail sales. In fact, they've actively opposed the beginning of retail sales in Virginia. And now the illicit market is valued at $2.4 billion. So good job. It's so tough on crime. Comedy. Hey, Robert, good to see you back. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Bob. Bob says, I travel a bit and thinks that they're hardest hit on taxes in Chicago. Maybe. Hey, Joshua in Nashville. Listen, Marquez says in Texas, we've got THCA. You know what? This is, oh man, we could talk about this for a long time. That's what, when you go to a legal dispensary and you buy cannabis flower, that's what's in the cannabis flower is THCA. Like a small amount will have been decarboxylated to delta-9 THC through the curing process, but it's largely present in the plant as THCA. So what you have is weed. It's not special. It's not special. It's just weed called THCA, which is how it is anyhow. But sure, you got that. Oh, thank you, AJ. Okay, AJ says between Suffolk and Portsmouth, Virginia, they've seen 4 stores open. So those aren't dispensaries. Those are stores that sell something unregulated. If that works for you, great, but it's unregulated, so you really don't know what you're getting. Kelly, safe banking could be combined with something else, but there's a reason why it's not. Change is often incremental. I know that can be frustrating for advocates and activists, but it's the reality of the situation. And one of the thoughts behind this is that passing an incremental measure like safe banking will sort of help get that first break in the wall that builds emotional comfort with cannabis regulation, with the repeal of prohibitions that have existed for decades on cannabis at the federal level. Yeah, I bet you do have stores in Nashville that sell that, Joshua. That's called weed. You can call it THCA if you want, but it's same thing. Do I think Nashville will legalize? I think Tennessee eventually will legalize and regulate the retail sale of cannabis to adults, but I'm also going to say what you all have heard. Y'all hear me say this all the time. Elections have consequences. And if you keep electing people who don't support the policy changes you want to see, you're not going to get them. The good news is we have a voter guide at NORML. It's at vote.norml.org. So before you go cast your ballot, electing people to represent you, if you care deeply about cannabis policy, and clearly you do because you're here having this conversation today, check out or smoke the vote voter guide, vote.norml.org. Hey, Mr. Jaggers. Hey, Kim, you just got your medical card in Louisiana. Congratulations. Bye, Mike. Thanks for joining us. All right. Your questions are great this week. Let's see, what haven't we talked about yet? Again, look, we just really can't have enough of these studies. You know, people like to wring their hands and say, oh my gosh, but we need more studies, as if we didn't have dozens every week to review. Yet another study is out indicating positively that cannabis exposure is not associated with an increased risk of psychosis, notably amongst high-risk youth. This isn't some fly-by-night study. Study participants were tracked for 2 years. This is a team of researchers affiliated with Hofstra University in New York and Stanford in California. And they assessed the relationship between cannabis use and health outcomes in a cohort of adolescents at clinical high risk for psychosis. And like I said, this was for over 2 years. And investigators ultimately reported that those subjects who consumed cannabis were no more likely than the non-users were to become psychotic. You can find the full text of the report in the link that I just dropped for you. Joshua, the website is vote.norml.org. Vote.norml.org. All right, we got 2 more. We got 2 more little pieces of news for you here, everyone. So this one is a little niche, but there is a complication that occurs after surgery sometimes after surgery for ulcerative colitis. There's a condition that can occur, and there was a study done demonstrating ultimately that cannabis inhalation was really helpful for symptom management and improvements in patients with this chronic condition that can occur after surgery for ulcerative colitis. Patients reported that the inhaled cannabis provided sustained relief for abdominal pain and swelling, for nausea, and for appetite, and for general feelings of well-being. So good news with that study. And then one more study I'm going to share with you as well. This time it's about CBD and how it could potentially be a promising therapeutic for patients with sickle cell disease. So this is a case report. It was on one patient, But again, this patient responded very well and reported dramatic improvements in chronic pain that were related to their sickle cell disease. So those are our stories for the week. Probably more we can talk about. But I can see you all are busy reading those. Let me tell you about, oh, hey, you know what? I hope you're following us on Instagram. This doesn't stream on Instagram because Meta hates us, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why Meta doesn't work with StreamYard on all of their platforms. They own Instagram, but there's more to talk about, just not cannabis related. Thanks, Wade. I really would love if that were somewhere in here. Why would it be in here? Anyhow, I'm going to find the Instagram link for you. I'm going to find it because we have a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway on our Instagram. Copy link. Look at, I'm doing it. I'm doing it so well. We don't need that stuff on there. There we go. All right. Okay, now I can talk about this. Now I've shared the link to our Instagram giveaway. And yes, you have to go to Instagram to like the post and get the link to enter. Yes, I know more of you follow us on Facebook. That's why I'm sharing it here. So you go follow us on Instagram as well. But listen. Gen Stock Designs has a mini stash bag in their elevated collection, and they donated one to us to use in our giveaway. It comes with a carabiner, so you can hook it on your whatever. And they sent it to us with a couple of little swag pieces in there, but you can see it's got a little pocket. They sent some papers with it, and they sent a bottle opener. And you know what? I'm going to put some other things in there. We've got stickers and we've got buttons and pins. I'm probably going to just load it up with things like our NORML lapel pin, our NORML buttons. You can enter to win this little bag right here. I'll send it to you if you win. Just go to our Instagram and follow the directions. Enter to win. We're going to do the drawing on Monday, this coming up Monday, the 28th. Monday, August 28th at noon Eastern. So enter before then. Lotto ideas from these numbers. Okay, Wade. Hilarious. Let's talk about the events that we have coming up. Okay, Texas NORML. If you're watching from Texas, and I know some of you are, they do a monthly live as well. I mean, we try to do it weekly, but Texas does one every month. I have to do this myself now. There it is. There is the link to the Texas NORML September live stream. It's September 6th at 8 p.m. And check it out. Make sure if you're in Texas, you're getting involved with Texas NORML. My sweet, sweet friend, Jax James. Awesome. All right. Hey, friends in Virginia, also coming up in September. I can't believe it's almost September. Coming up in September, Virginia NORML will be at VA Pride Fest. We're going to have tons of cool swag. You can donate and get cool stuff from us there. It's on Browns Island on September 23rd. It's from 12 to 7 this year. Make sure you check that out. It's free, obviously. We also have a fundraiser coming up also in Virginia in October. Hey, Cruz, no, there is not an active chapter of NORML in Nebraska, but Cruz, if you and 3 of your friends would like to start one, that'd be awesome. You can find out more on the NORML website, or you can send us an email at chapters@norml.org. Chapters@norml, NORML.org. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I'm going to drop, you know what? I'm going to drop that right there. Thanks, Cassidy, for writing this for me one day. There you go. I don't know why it says this doesn't need to. I can maybe just say you instead of the whole Virginia part. There we go. Anyhow, we'd love to help you start a NORML chapter in Nebraska. So please do. Hey, Matthias, thank you. Thanks for watching. Anyhow, back to the fundraiser, October 7th in Leesburg, Virginia, from 12 to 7 at Ink Sanity. They're doing a tattoo fundraiser for us, and they will have specially priced cannabis related flash, and I'll be there. So come, get tattooed, maybe, and get cool stuff from me. Get nerdy stuff like books. We'll have fun things also. We'll have wait up, don't want Facebook to take down our posts. We'll have other fun things like that are legal in Virginia. This sounds terrible. I need to stop talking. Storage devices. That's what I mean to say. Felt like I had one right here. I think I do this to you all every week. I'm like, oh, I thought it was right here. We have like fun lighters too. We have these strawberry lighters. These little chocolate bar lighters. You know, it's fall. It's almost fall. It's fall enough. We have little acorn containers. You can put stuff in them. Anyhow, come see us, get fun stuff like that. And then one more event to tell you all about, because this one takes some planning to get to, but you know, I'd love for you all to come hang out with us in Key West this December. The NORML Key West Legal Seminar actually starts on November 30th and runs through December 2nd. This is at the Pier House Resort and Spa in Key West, Florida. Come on down. Even if you don't need continuing legal education credits, still a spectacular event to connect with legal experts from across the country as we work our way from prohibition to cannabis freedom. If you are an attorney, though, we do have CLE credits approved for every state in which they are required. Yes, Cruz, do it, do it, do it. Trish, yeah, that is actually, you are not wrong, Trish. That is a Facebook page that we maintain. Yeah, but hey, Cruz, you and your friends could start a Nebraska NORML chapter, and then you could run that Facebook page for us. Doesn't that sound fun? I'll teach you how. Well, hello, pot calls the kettle bong from Texas, but in Richmond for work. Thank you, Cruz. I love that. I love that. I'll be looking for your application. One of our interns will follow up with you when you submit it. All right. This has been a blast. And I'm going to slow talk it for a second just to give you all a minute to get any last minute questions you might have in there. But also, I'm going to take a second to remind you to hit that like, follow, or subscribe button wherever you're watching, so you don't miss when we go live. Because I love hanging out with you all every week. You have the best questions. Hey, are you a NORML member yet? If not, I don't know why. You should be. You can. I would love to send you your very own 2023 official member card. You can put your name on the back. See, it's got a little space for it. I actually send these out myself. So, hey, make sure you're a 2023 member. Got to find the link to that right here. There we go. There's the link to join. Go to normal.org/join. Annual membership. It runs on a calendar year. So this is the 2023 card. Toward the end of the year, we'll start the rollout of our 2024 memberships. $35 every year is how you become a card-carrying member of NORML. Kevin, you have a great weekend, friend. AJ says, where do I put my info to enter the giveaway? So AJ, you're going to go to our Instagram, and there's directions right there on the post. But what you have to do on our Instagram is click the link in our bio. Because this is how links work on Instagram. You click the link in the bio, and it's going to pop up a new window that looks just like our regular Instagram, except now you can click on the pictures and it'll take you to the actual links. You will be subscribed if you enter the giveaway. Yes. That's absolutely. All right, friends, we have some super awesome merch in our web store. If you've never shopped at the NORML store, you should. What a great way to show your support for legalization. What a great way to show your support for protecting the rights of responsible cannabis consumers, like physically, like you put it on your body and you wear it, or you get a book and you put it on your shelf. But you can do that by shopping the NORML store. It's at store.norml.org. I also put a link to it in the chat for you all, so you can get some good stuff. You know, it's August. Why not buy yourself a back to school treat? You know, like a shirt, a hoodie. Maybe it's time to start doing some holiday shopping. You know, check it out in the NORML store. All right, friends. Do we have tie-dye? No, David, we don't have tie-dye. Our shirts are mostly black. That's right. I said it. We have 1 or 2 shirts that aren't black. They are like some bluish, greenish color from our NORML legal seminar in Key West. I think that Kentucky NORML has tie-dye in their Facebook shop, though. All right, AJ, fingers crossed for you, buddy. I love hanging out with y'all every week. Make sure you tune in next time so we can do it all again. Try to do this every Friday. So make sure you're following us so you know when we're going to go live. This has been a blast. I really appreciate you all joining and your questions. This has been so much fun. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'd love to see you back here next time. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.